the winMoJo.co. My name's Phil. Okay, so in our last episode, we discussed setting up Windows 7 with the basic things like antivirus and updates. And we started to talk about some of the other things. We also talked about administrator accounts versus user accounts, very high level. We talked about videos that are available through Microsoft. And now I want to show you some of the tools that Microsoft offers to really extend Windows for you. We're going to use the user account for this. I'm going to click on the winMoJo user account here. We're going to let it log in. First time you do that, it's going to say setting up your desktop. We're going to go ahead and we're going to personalize this a little bit first. So this is going to be our primary account that we use when we're on the internet. Again, this is a very basic class, so I'm assuming that most of you are primarily using your computers for email, web browsing, maybe some letter writing, and some really basic functions. The more advanced you get, obviously, the more complex things get, but we're going to just go real high level. So we'll start off with, if you go to the desktop and you right click with your mouse button and you go down to personalize, it's going to give you some options of the different desktop themes that are already installed. Some of these are really great. There's a Windows 7 one that you see on the desktop already. There's one that's based around architecture and characters and landscapes and nature and all kinds of other stuff. There's the United States theme. If you're in another country, they have other country themes as well. There are ways to unlock the other country themes in the United States, but again, it's more advanced. So we're gonna select characters, and you're going to see that it gives us a really colorful background there. Probably a little busy for my taste. Doesn't mean it's bad. But let's just go with the United States. Make it simple. And then we're going to say, okay, well, we like that. It's going to use a custom color. It's going to use the sounds that come with that pack. It's going to use, it doesn't have a screensaver. You can choose a screensaver if you want to here. You can basically just any one of these you like. There's also some high contrast stuff for the visually impaired. So if you have some vision issues and you need that high contrast, those are good ones. But we're going to stick with this one for right now. So we've clicked on it. All we have to do is close this, and you'll see we've got this nice new desktop. So when we click on it, you can see our icon, and we got our nice desktop now. And so it's kind of starting to get some personalized touch to it. Let's move on and go ahead and go back into the start panel. We'll go to all programs, accessories, and then we're going to slide up here to getting started again. Now, before I go too much further here, email is the next big piece of this puzzle. So most of us that get our internet service through folks at Comcast and AT&T and Time Warner and the myriad of other providers out there normally get an email account that's included with your package. Those are great as long as you're still with that company. So if you use that email address, but then you decide to go from Comcast, say, to AT&T in 3 years, well, that email account's going to go goodbye. So you really have a lot of options for online email accounts that are driven through web browsers like Gmail, which is Google's Mail. You have Yahoo Mail. You've got Live Mail, which is what we use here at winMoJo.co. So let's show you some tools, though, that actually work really well with the live.com account. If you go to Windows Live Essentials, you click on that, it's going to tell you up here what all these tools are and what they can do. We're going to click Go Online and get Windows Live Essentials. And it's going to say speed up browsing by disabling add-ons. If you get this, you can close it. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to want to download this now. And it's about 1.2 meg. It's not bad. So we'll just say save it. And click view download so we can see what's downloading. And it's done before I can even get to it. Now we'll click run. And then it's going to prompt us now for the administrator password. Now what's cool about this? If something is trying to install on your machine and you aren't sure about it, at this point, you don't provide the password. So if there's any software you accidentally download visiting sites and that maybe you don't know are trustworthy or not, this is like a little warning sign. It's like a safety net saying, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Now, The program name is Windows Live Essentials, which is exactly what I went for. The verified publisher is Microsoft Corporation, and it was downloaded from the internet. You'll notice back here in this browser window that's kind of grayed out. I forgot to tell you this when we went there, but these green bars are part of the Avast virus software you put in. And those green bars are telling me that this is a trusted site. It's safe to download stuff from there. Again, still use common sense here, but we're okay. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the administrator password, and I'm going to hit yes. Now it's going to go ahead and start running this program. And what it's really doing is this is just a let me close this getting started for now too, and I'll close this, and let me close the Windows Live Essential here. Well, I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to click here and minimize it. So here's Windows Live Essentials 2011 starting up. What it's really doing is kind of just querying my machine, checking to see what I already have installed, if anything. We don't have anything installed, so it's going to go pretty quick. And we're just going to click install all of Windows Live Essentials recommended. Now, before we do that, we could also click this and only choose the programs that we want. And for those of you that want to kind of pick and choose the programs that are in this package, that's fine. Do that. You don't have to install them all. You might not need Writer or Family Safety or Live Mesh or Bing Bar, which I don't like. So you might go in here and do that. You might not need the Outlook connector pack. You won't, as a matter of fact. I know this for a fact at this point in this particular install. So but if you're not sure, click install all live Windows Essentials. I'm going to choose the programs I want. I want Messenger. I want Photo Gallery Movie Maker. I want the Windows Mesh. I don't want the Bing Bar because I don't necessarily want to use Bing as my search engine. I could use Google, I could use Yahoo, I could use anything. The Bing Bar is just one more thing that's going to be popping up in the top of my browser otherwise. Writer, I'm going to go ahead and put in. Family Safety, I'm going to leave on there. And Messenger Companion, because I do want to show you guys this stuff. I'm just going to leave this one off. I'm not a big fan of search bars in my browser. So this is going to take a while to download and install. So while this is doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pause it. And when they're all installed, we'll come back and talk a little more. Okay, one more thing while we're watching Windows Live Essentials install here. Anytime you install programs, even Avast, which was the antivirus program I installed, a lot of times even trusted software gets packaged with these toolbars that end up in your Windows. So you would have a toolbar here for Bing, and you'd have a toolbar here for Yahoo, and a toolbar here for Google. And pretty soon you've got no viewable web page. So I'm highly recommending that you watch out for those and uncheck those things when they get installed. Now, if one gets installed and you see it here and you're like, oh crap, he warned me about that, now what do I do? It's pretty simple. You go to Start, Computer. You're going to go to Uninstall or Change Program. And then it'll be listed here. You'll see Google Toolbar or something like that. You just click on it. Like, let's say that was it. And you would click this uninstall button. It'll prompt you for the password again because you're not the administrator. This is your user account. And then it'll uninstall. And it'll take it away. But just watch out for it. Also, while we're waiting, Windows Live uses a passport of sorts so that if you have a username and password that you have associated with your live account, and if you have live mail, Hotmail, for instance, it'll all sync up together. And we at winMoJo.co have one, obviously. But let me show you how you get that involved. So you click on sign in on the Windows Live Essentials webpage, and I have an idea already, but if you didn't, you would click here for sign up. Now, the cool thing about this is going to give you access to SkyDrive, Messenger, and Hotmail. You're going to say, if you don't have a Hotmail account already, or an MSN Hotmail account, you're going to click no, sign me up for a free one. If you have an email account that you want to use, like Gmail, Yahoo, Comcast, whatever, then just say yes. Use my email address. I can't go any further here because I have one. So we just go winMoJo, and then our password here. I always have to look this up because I'm still learning it. And then keep me signed in. sign in. Uh-oh, what happened there? Oh yeah, this is what happened. It has to be an email address. I kind of did that on purpose. So that's our email address, and then here is our password, and we're going to sign in. Now, it knows I'm winMoJo.co. I can edit my profile, and you'll see as we get into the essentials, once they're installed, why this is important. Okay, so we're going to let this go ahead and finish installing, and we will be right back. Okay, Win Live Essentials has finished installing, and it does require a restart. So we're going to go ahead and click Restart now. This would be a great point to go ahead and take and break this up into our third part. When we come back, we'll talk about all the Live Essential tools and how to set them up and get you going. Thanks again for viewing winMoJo.co. My name is Phil. See you guys in part 3.